Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Singer's Toolbox. Today, I have an interesting episode for you. I mean, like always, right? But today's episode is interesting because I found some cool stuff at the Strand recently. I made a mistake on eBay that I'll talk about. And the other book that I got recommended to me by Oliver, my friend Oliver over in Scotland, just came in. So let's talk about it. All right, guys. First off, I want to talk about real quick the stuff that I got at the Strand. So, not a whole lot today. There was a lot at the Strand that was incredible. I think I put out the APB in the forums that you should go out and get these things because there was a lot of standard rep opera at very reasonable prices. But what I found today was these collections of swing music. So the thing about Great American Songbook and swing era jazz, again, I'm going to do a whole video on this in the future, but they're really hard to find when it comes to arrangements for piano that the piano can play, and it's not just a lead sheet, right? Because sometimes you're asked to do these gigs and you got to show up and bring, anything, like even like a bebop era thing, right? And your pianist doesn't read a lead sheet, so what do you do? And then you're looking around all over the internet trying to find it, right? So these are the books that contain those kinds of arrangements. The first one I want to look at here is the Warner Brother collection, the swing and the big band era. What's really cool about this is, I said this in my anthology video, but publishers can only publish what's in their catalog, right? So the thing with Warner Brother is that they owned a lot of this stuff that comes from their movies, right? So a lot of these songs are going to be stuff that comes out of the Warner Brother movie catalog and events that they might have produced back when, a lot of these big televised things were used as like shorts in movies or, like events that they had in early television, right? So this is really cool to have. So glad I found this. Whenever you see these like really nice kind of brown covers here from Warner Brothers, I usually grab these up. This has, man, everything here from like Round Midnight, what else here? Body and Soul. What else do I recognize here? Tuxedo Junction, The Umbrella Man. I was just teaching about Umbrella Man last week to the kids. So, great collection, all transcribed out for piano. Check it out. The next one here I have for you is the Encyclopedia of Big Band Classics. Now, this one I got in particular, because usually, if there's two that are kind of similar, I'm going to choose one over the other, and I almost did in this case. But this has a ton of bebop music that is so hard to find, because usually bebop stuff, you only find it in like lead sheets, or if you find like an album by a particular person. But this, the keys might not be the best in the world. Maybe you have to transpose them or something. Check it out. But this has a lot of stuff that usually you'd go really like hunting around trying to find. Like Oh Lady Be Good, Satin Doll. There's another arrangement of Tuxedo Junction and Umbrella Man in here. I would check and see if those are in different keys, because always good to have additional keys, right? Indian Love Call, which is really good because there were also a lot of like these crossover-y kind of artists, like opera singer crossovers, that did stuff like Indian Love Call, so good to have the original music on that. Again, I'm going to do another video in the future on where to find some of these, and this book will probably be featured on where to find that music for a Great American Songbook. But yeah, these are my swing era books that I got from the Strand. Okay, next up, guys, I want to talk about a great find that I found on eBay and a huge mistake I made on eBay, and how you can avoid making the same mistake that I did. So first off, whenever I find these kinds of covers where they look a little decrepit, I'm like, you know what, there's probably something great in here, especially some of the older French stuff, right? So I'm always like, all right, let me see what the title is, let me see the condition of the score. So first off, I saw this first one and I thought, okay, I've never heard of this composer before, and I'm intrigued, especially with like French operetta. There's a lot of interesting French operetta, not all of it great, but I figured I'll give it a shot. It was pretty cheap. This is and I'm gonna butcher this name, I don't know how it's said in French, but Miss Eliette, right? This is by Edmond Audran, And this is also a Choudon edition, right? So whenever I find Choudon editions, guys, I just buy them because French scores are really expensive. But this is great. I mean, full piano vocal score. I usually, I don't like to judge based on just looking through the overture to see what it looks like, but this looks pretty simple. Never have heard this music before. I'm going to give it a listen at some point, but I figured this is a great find. I think I got this for like $15. Why not? All right. Now I want to talk about a mistake I made on eBay and how you can avoid this same mistake as well. So sometimes, guys, some of these older scores, there were different kinds of scores that they produced of the same opera. Not all of them are for voice and piano. Sometimes there are scores that are a pianist's scores, right? And it's annoying because they put all of the piano music and then the lyrics on the top. Now, I haven't made this mistake in a long time. I just was reading through quick and I got excited because this is an opera that I've heard of. I was looking to buy a copy of it and I thought, oh man, I finally found a copy of this. This is Coppelia by Delibes, right? And I was really interested because, again, I don't own a copy of this. I thought, okay, cool. I'm going to get a cheapo copy of Coppelia and have it for the collection. No. Because I ended up buying this thing, and then what do I find when I open it? But no lyrics. It's all the piano music. There are words, like cue words, that are kind of like you can't really read them along the top here. And I don't know. I was just really annoyed because, again, I had made that mistake a while ago on eBay, and I didn't think I was going to do it again. But I did. So pianist friends, I might just reach out to you and be like, hey, you want a random score? Because it's not really useful to me. But again, don't make that mistake, okay? Usually, for the French scores especially, it will say chant et piano, right? And that's like your vocal score. Always see if you can find pictures of those scores just to make sure that you're looking at the right thing. But if it might say like piano seul or something like that, don't get those because those are like a rehearsal score for the pianist, right? So be careful. Don't waste your money like I did. All right, the last thing I want to bring up here was a book that got recommended to me by my friend Oliver. Again, I'm going to have Oliver on the channel here eventually. We're going to talk about the legacy of his father, who teaser. His father was one of the baritones that premiered many of Britten's works, right? And we'll share the story about how I got in contact with Oliver in the first place. But he made this great recommendation to me about a book to get for research on Britten. Now, I come across some of these books like in college or something, and then I try to find them later on. This I didn't even have an idea existed, and it's a great research piece for if you're looking for stuff, if you want to do a paper on Britten or if you're just interested in Britten's mindset on things. This is Benjamin Britten's Poets, okay? Finally came in the mail. I looked through it. Thank you, Oliver. This is really, really cool. If you ever need resources for the poetry of the pieces that he set, all of it's in here. There's even an index at the back. If you wanted to know what Britten's poetry library was, his entire poetry library is listed in the back. Okay? This was incredibly useful for me, especially for the Canticle number 3, Still Falls the Rain. I talked about it last episode. Gonna do, hopefully, a huge performance of the heart of the matter. But this has all of the texts from Canticle 3 and from the additional songs that he wrote. So, get it, guys. This is a cool book. A little expensive. I ended up finding this, I think, used on Amazon. But check this out. Really cool. Benjamin Britten's Poets. All right, so some final thoughts and conclusions on this episode. Again, don't make the mistakes that I did when it comes to eBay. Make sure you read everything clearly. I'm not going to make a big stink about it. It happens. And I didn't spend enough money that I'm like incredibly worried about it. But I just wanted to talk to you guys through some of the stuff that I got at the Strand this past week. Those big band books are really cool, especially when, maybe you've sung the same 5 or 6 songs, you want to find some additional material to work on. It's a fun rabbit hole to fall down, especially when you're looking for new music, okay? So grateful to Oliver for that book recommendation. I can't wait to read it. Maybe I'll do a little review of it. There are a couple of music books that I'm reading. I might just do like a mass review on some stuff. But I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom here. Join the Discord. Ask your questions. I love questions. Leave comments. I'll read them. And I hope you enjoyed on this episode of The Singer's Toolbox.